Hello, hello. We are here again on another Tuesday night. Isn't it good to be here? Another is the key, you all. You don't understand how good it is to be here another Tuesday night, because it is a chance to be grateful, because I could have not made it. Not just because you're listening, but I could have not made it. So it is great and wonderful to be seen and heard here on another Tuesday. So I'm glad you all have joined us, and you all know this is Tuesday is always near and dear to my heart. That's because I get my sweetie to come sit beside me, get out the corner from behind when he come here on Tuesday night. But we always get to talk about something that's passionate to our heart, about helping people get along this grief journey. Get along it. I didn't say make it disappear. I didn't say get over it. I mean, because those are the bad terms that we use. It's a process, but the thing is, it's different triggers along the journey, no matter how far along the journey you've made it. So we have to learn how to do things in a positive and healthy way. And it's always about having our best relationship with God, self, and others. And for this show is after the death does us part, when we are mingled with others, getting in that great relationship going on. And as I told you all earlier, I was kind of struggling with some scriptures tonight about, how you make it through. And it really, no matter where I wrestled, it always brought me back to the Psalms 34. And in Psalms 34, I'm going to tell you about 17 through 19. It says, the righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. And that's the thing, who's crushed in spirit. And the thing is, we are brokenhearted and crushed in spirit. When we lose our loves, that's where we are. But we have to realize when we are at our weakest moment, God is closest to us, and he's trying to restore us. The thing is, we have to experience a loss. And there are different losses for each and every one of us. And we don't have to weigh them in and say, mine is more important, yours is more important. The thing is, we all have a different loss, because we all have a different lesson. And that's the key, is for us to learn the lesson so that we can give it back and teach somebody. And that's why we're here tonight, because we have a wonderful guest, Justine. She is coming in and she's going to share her voice. She's going to share her story. And then she's going to share her story about how she made it through, what helped her to be healed and be whole. No, because for people who don't know, you can lose your mind on the journey. You can lose your mind on the journey. You don't necessarily lose your life. You're still alive. You lose your mind. You lose what you thought was the only way for you to live. But she has a great story on how she became healthy and whole, and how she's out there helping other people be their best as well. And I love to have guests on here who have made it through the process, who are still working the process, and actually doing something to give back and help other people. And I say that because a lot of people feel like they have to mimic and they have to open up they all have to do a widow's organization or help somebody in that way. But there are various ways. And that's the key, is learn where your lane is, learn what you can do. And this lady is doing her thing. She has an awesome business, and we're going to dig in, we're going to talk about it. Of course, y'all going to go to her website, y'all going to support her, because she came all the way from the West Coast to join us on her time zone. We know it's not late over there. She's still in sunny California, hot San Diego on the harbor, enjoying the breeze that's not there right now. But the thing is, we want to keep focused on how God gets us through. And when we're brokenhearted, that he really and truly helps us in this process. So I love the lyrics to this song. And it is, I did not know my own strength. And when I heard that song, and I've heard it several times, but y'all know I love lyrics. So when I heard this song again, I did not know my own strength by Whitney Houston. It really spoke to the message of what we're having tonight. Sometimes, no, let me take that back. All the time. It's never about our own personal strength. It's about God giving us the strength. And that's why we have to recognize that we have been crushed. And a lot of times we're in denial mode and not addressing that crush. And we go around crushed, we go around broken, and we think we're whole and we think we're healthy. So tonight we're going to really dig in and talk about that process. When did Justine get away from denial and understanding that there was hurt that happened? And so I don't want y'all to disappear on the song. I know how sometimes y'all click in and y'all don't see a picture of faces. You know, so if you click in a little late, listen to the music, come back so you can see our faces, but not just see our faces, because tonight there is a real message that Justine wants to deliver and help some people. This word is to help you all, so stay tuned. All right, all right. For you all who were listening, Whitney Houston songs, as I told you, it blessed me. And it wasn't that I didn't know my own strength. She was honest. She said, I don't know where to go. I've fallen. But the key is I did not crumble. Crumble means you just turn to ashes, and I mean you died and you were blown in the dust yourself. But the thing in life, we have to realize there is brokenness in all of us. All of us. And we got to quit denying that and understanding that. And Justine, she just really blessed my soul behind the scenes, you know. But I'm not going to let her get away with just telling me behind the scenes that part. Because the thing is, God does nothing on accidents. And that is the key. Not even us meeting each other. I mean, we did not know each other from Adam. And it just happened to be somebody I was actually talking to about something that was totally off the topic. And she said, well, I know this lady who would love to talk to you. And then when I called her and we talked about her story, and I was like, yes. And it's amazing. I believe we talked way back in December. Yep. And here we are 6 months later. And that's the thing, bringing us into a new half of the year. Nothing on accident, a new half of the year. And the thing is, her transition from when I talked to her in December and when I talk to her now, she's a totally different person too. And that's the thing you all have to know. It is 6 months still left in the rest of this year. You can change your whole life in 6 months if you can change your perspective. But I don't want to get on my little soapbox, because I can got a lot about that other half thing. But the thing is, kind of tell us your lost story, and definitely tell us what piece and what role did your husband play in your life to help you reach this place of peace for you.
You know, first things first, I have to thank you so much for having me on. It has been an amazing blessing to just hear your guys' story, because you inspire me. Story is so powerful. I love that you found love again, and that you're able to share your story and give people hope. And, you know, that's a lot what I'm about. I just want to inspire people, because, you know, my husband, it's coming up on his 7-year death anniversary, July 8th. And it feels like it was just yesterday, but yet it feels like it's been a million years at the same time. And, you know, I love this topic, and, you know, being on Praise Radio is because my husband actually introduced me to God. And I feel that he was brought into my life to save me. And had he had not saved me, you know, I probably wouldn't be here today, because it took my trust in God to get me through it. And, you know, I had to go into some deep, dark places. There were some pity parties along the way. And then I had to really just kind of get out of my own way and look and see what my husband was a blessing. To be able to have him in my life, to save me, to be able to give me life. We have children, and, you know, I get a part of him every single day.
That's wonderful.
It was just, I had to find my outlet. And I feel that a lot of people struggling, you know, whether it be loss of a spouse, loss of a child, loss of a job, you know, everybody, like you said, has struggles. And you just got to find your outlet. And when you do, it's like freedom.
Yes.
And it's that trust that you have in God, and it's you start to trust and have that in your soul, and you just know you're here for a purpose, and you know you're here. We're all here for a reason. We just have to tap into ourselves and find our outlet, and just be able to, you know, unleash ourselves and be the best version that we can be.
Yeah. Oh, you got something on that?
I want to ask you a question. The amazing part about when your husband draw you to Christ, and you say you got to tap into yourself. Tell me, because a lot of individuals, it's kind of hard to recognize that another person that's really meaning them well. What I'm trying to say, tell us when you begin to recognize that your husband that will push you in the right direction, emotional wise, physical wise, and spiritual wise, when you start thinking on that, because that's mighty interesting. That's really powerful there.
So just to make sure I understood you, when did I really realize where he was pushing me towards?
Yes.
Well, first thing and foremost is I never really grew up going to church. And him and we knew each other ever since we were kids in elementary school. And
that's so sweet.
Yeah. He went to Christian High. He was a star football player. He was such an amazing guy and just full of life. And when we bumped into one another, you know, and we started talking, he said, listen, if you want to date me, you're going to have to come check this out. Like, this is church. This is a part of my life. And I need to make sure that, you know, you accept that, because this is me. You know, he wasn't forceful. He was just so pure about it and just so open for his love for God. And how could I not, you know, just, I was curious on what this relationship was. What is it? And when I sat down in that church, I'll never forget, I was so scared almost, you know, I was nervous. I didn't want to sing, you know, I just kind of sat there but at the end of it, I was going to altar call, you know, and I was just like, praise the Lord. You know, I felt that passion, and, you know, he would always ask me too, like prior to going to bed, he would ask me, will you pray with me? You know, let's pray. You know, so he started, you know, trying to introduce me into that way. And then we would pray, you know, before we would eat meals. And, you know, he was just so pure that it just happened. Like
it wasn't forced.
No,
Yeah.
and I mean, kind of like sushi. He said, you know, I can't date you until you try sushi. Now, if you don't like it, that's okay. But if you don't, you know, if you don't try it, then I'm not going out with you. So our first date was over sushi, and I am a sushi freak. So he's
I love that. I love that because a lot of times we accept things in our life and we don't even know if the other person is compatible because we don't say, hey, try this with me. And I think we take for granted and we miss so many opportunities to enjoy things and make memories with people because we cut them off. I'm telling you, my husband has tried some things and his 60 years of life, he'd be like, hey, I never did that. Why we doing it? But I'd be like, let's just try it. As long as it don't kill us, we'll be all right in the end. But it's good. And that kind of try, it saved your life. He was really just saving your life, as you said, not just so that you could make it without him, but he was saving your life so you could make it back to him. Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
He saved, yeah. So, and that's the beauty of it. So beyond that, even though you knew God, now you're singing 7 years ago. You know, I love numbers. 7 years. It took us 7 years because there's somebody out there who's singing, hey, I lost my husband last week, or today was the day. Some people are saying, hey, it was 10 years ago. The thing is, it's a different journey for everybody. And it's no such thing as you have been grieving too long. The difference is, are you doing it in a positive way or destructive way? And that's key. So talk about when you made that transition from going to that deep place to actually seeing the light and knew that you needed to do something different.
You know, I'm going to have to give this one to my mom. You know, that first year, I mean, I was just in a deep, dark depression, and I was angry. You know, I still found myself going to church, and I still I was hurt. Why me? How am I going to do this without him? I have these children I have to provide for. What am I going to do? I have to work. I have to provide for my family. How I was so angry, you know, and I couldn't believe, I thought I was being punished. And that I was being punished, and that this just wasn't fair. And my mom came in one morning because I had moved in with her that first year, and she said, Justine, get up. She goes, you are not spending another day in this house. There is a house for sale right down the street. You're going to get up and you're going to move on with your life. And it was kind of like that wake up call, because here I was taking life for granted every single day. I have these beautiful children, and yet I'm sitting there grieving the loss of my husband, and my children have in a sense lost their mom. How does that make sense? My kids just lost their dad, and now they've practically lost their mom because she can't even get out of bed. How does that make sense? You know, yes. So I really I ended up buying the house. You know, just so happened I in the time of my life, I didn't even go look at the house. They said, call the realtor and put an offer in. I was so upset. And I ended up getting the house, and my mom, you know, she helps me so much, and she's my saving grace. She's an angel. So it's just, I had to wake up. It was like that aha moment. And, you know, I started working out, and I started when I worked out, I would feel a sense of relief. But it took me a little bit longer to really realize how therapeutic the gym was for me. But once I found that therapy, I just went for it, and I've never looked back.
Oh yeah, I know my husband want a piece of that about that gym therapy.
It's true. That place is therapy, because let me tell you, the doctors. I'm a nurse. First and foremost, been a nurse for 10 years. And I actually got out of case management because of the pharmaceutical industry. Was just a huge eye opener for me. And I'm more natural. I want natural, you know, non-pharmaceutical. So where am I going at with this story? The doctors wanted to throw Xanax at me, Lexapro, Trazodone. I mean, I sat there in the office and I said, I can't have you coat my life with a pill. You know, and they were trying to throw different names at it. And my nursing, I'm like, oh, I know what you're talking about. You're trying to give me a generic or a brand name and da-da-da. And I actually ended up getting up and walking out of that session because I said, you're not going to coat my life with a pill. I'm going to live. So I ended up walking out.
That right there should. Everybody who thinks of popping a pill is going to save their life. All you're doing is you got false hope in a pill. That pill is not God. All it's doing is allowing you to have false hope that you're doing better. False hope that you're doing better. As soon as you realize those pills are creating some other cause and affecting you, and they're killing you. They're killing you. Because they're, like you say, they're not allowing you to live. They just got you in this fog. They got you in this place. Oh, that way, okay, well, hopefully she won't be as suicidal. Hopefully she won't be too depressed. But, I mean, all those pills have a side effect. And a lot of times we want that easy way out. But the thing is, you found the thing that you found, something that you could plug into. Not necessarily go to the gym was easy, but it became therapy for you. And that's the key. There is a different therapy out here for each and every one of us that is not necessarily going to be easy. But when we plug into it, it's going to be our ultimate joy.
Because some people love just like going down for a walk on the beach or reading a book, you know, or listening to or yoga. Like it doesn't necessarily, you know, some people are like, Justine, I don't know if I want to like go do fitness competitions or do those things. And I said, that was just my out, you know, that was my outlet. You know, yours might be something totally different. So I love tapping in and like figuring out, you know, what is people's why? Because that's another big thing too. You know, how are we going to get you to where you need to be? And how are we going to get you to live the best life? Because we deserve it. We have to live. We have to live for the ones who aren't here for us. You know, they're not here anymore. You know, I'll never forget. It's so funny because I have to share this story because my husband, he is just an amazing guy. And I'll never forget where we were sitting downstairs on the couch, and he looks over at me. And he goes, babe, what would you do if I died?
Uh-oh.
And I flipped it fast. And I said, well, I could tell you one thing. I said, if I died, I said, if you moved on, I think I would have to haunt you because I said, you're never going to love anybody but me. You know, shame on me for acting like that, you know, and it was kind of comical. And he looks at me and he goes, man, I just want you to be happy. And I said, wow. I said, that was supposed to be my answer. I was just kidding. It's so funny because, you know, he passed away shortly after that conversation.
So now how did you lose him? Was he sick or did you go through a process?
He died instantly, unexpected. He was out on a vacation with his brother, visiting his father who had stage 4 cancer. So he went out there to kind of say his final goodbyes and have one last brother trip. And he was driving late, and they believe he fell asleep at the wheel because it looks like the gas pedal was accelerated. He was going over 70 miles per hour, blew through a stop sign and hit a tree. And he died instantly on impact. Yeah.
And the reason I want you to tell your story is because everybody has a different one. But at the end, we all get this membership to a club that we try not to get into. I don't think there's anybody trying to get a membership to the Widow or the Widowers Club. I really don't think nobody's running there. But the thing is, that lesson of how sometimes it's what we have to think about. Like you knew you needed to get up and live for your kids. You knew that you needed to be healthier for your kids. There is something that all of us need to get up and do. You know, for us, we know our get up and do it, and God has assigned us clearly to make people's heart healthy and whole and accepting. Because there's a lot of people out there who say, I don't want to love again. I'm going to just shut down. I'm going to bury myself. I'm alive, but I'm not going to live fully anymore. And that's a sad, thing to speak over your life, to walk around as a ghost and to choose to be dead in this world when life is really too short. God gave us a chance to keep on moving, but we got to grasp it and really take advantage of it. And I know you want to say something.
I wanted to say this, and this is something that was getting at me too, because my wife passed, and I stayed in the gym a lot. That was my rehabilitation. I stayed in there. I mean, I worked out super hard. I mean, sometimes I stayed for 3 or 4 hours a day. But the problem with that is, just like I'm gonna say, like, just like you go to church and you listen at the pastor and you get all hyped, and the pastor, you do this and you do this and you're feeling all good. I mean, now when the doors open to the church and you step outside, now you're back to reality again. My problem with this is, that's what I've been working on, and I ran into this beautiful woman, and this changed my whole life around. When you leave out of that gym door, you live. Just when you're in the gym, you're leaving all your frustration on the floor. You're working out all your stress, everything that you're going through, you leave it in the gym. Now you get ready to go outside that gym door, and you see something that hits you dead in the face to freak you out. Okay, I'm just saying that word. We have to learn how to, tell me how you deal with that situation, because that's the most important part. Because as long as you're in that gym working out, it's okay. And you leave out of that gym, now you're in society. Tell me how you handle that.
Well, I can tell you, there's always something that comes up every single day.
Okay.
There is, whether it be a song that comes on the radio, a number that pops up, or frustrations with the kids fighting, and you're living in reality. I really just do the best that I can do for today. I've been so focused about 6 months ago, okay? I was so focused on the future. And I'm focusing on the future, and I'm focusing on the future, that I'm not even living for today. I'm not even living for today because I'm so focused on the future that I'm missing the opportunity to even get to my future.
There you go.
Because I'm running into something that I don't even have yet.
Yeah, so, that was wonderful right there. I think that's what he was trying to dig out of you anyway, because we knew it was in there. But the thing is, I'm so totally with you. We focus so much on trying to make our later greater that we don't focus on our now being great. And the problem with that, if our now is not great, later is going to be worse. Right. Because all we're doing is we're so frustrated now, and that frustration is just going to keep going. And we're so busy that, like you say, we've missed opportunities, we've missed moments. And that's why I say I can just see a different peace, a different calmness in you. And when we spoke back in December, it's just like, okay, I found my peace. I'm not working on it. I'm not chasing it. I know I have it. I know I've gotten what it is that this lesson was supposed to be. And so we can talk about this healed and wholeness. I mean, I know you're honoring your husband's memory because you're living, and you're living healthy, and you're still living a holy, righteous life. That introduction, that greeting that he gave you, you know, that's worth it all, that greeting. And when you can stay in God's house despite of the turmoil that you go through. So let's talk about Jay Inspired.
Yes.
Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about how you got that name, and how is it out here helping and empowering people.
Okay, Jay Spire is something that I actually started working on as an idea 4 years ago after I did my first fitness competition. After I had gone through my loss and I started to want to compete, people told me, gosh, Jay, my family calls me Jay. You inspire me. I heard so many people tell me I inspire. So I came up with Jay Spire because I truly just love helping people. And it's great because sometimes what I needed was a coach. So I needed somebody to believe in me more than I believed in myself. And I got myself a fitness coach, and she believed in me, and she pushed me, and she chiseled me out. And I never thought in a million years that I would ever be able to be in that position. And I can tell you one thing, you know, after, I don't know if I'm sure you have experienced a present of a lost one. Mm-hmm. But when I get up on that stage, I feel, Colby, like no tomorrow. I know he's there. I know he's with me. And it was something that just was so captivating for me that I put it down on a piece of paper, and I wanted to design my own fitness program. But I know that it just wasn't my time at that moment. I still had, I mean, it's funny. Like I look back at it, and it was J Spire 4 years ago. You know, and here I am today, you know, just launching this business about 4 months ago, you know, so here I am when it was something that was supposed to be 4 years ago. But I had a lot more work to do with myself.
Yes.
A lot more to learn about business, to learn about journeys, communication, business. I got myself a business coach. I mean, there was so much that I needed to do within myself to be able to launch this, to be able to really empower people. So, you know, I used to be 245 pounds. That was my absolute heaviest. And I've struggled with weight my whole entire life, down from, you know, eating disorders, yo-yo diets. I mean, name it, it's been in my life. So I feel like I can understand people. I feel like we can connect. And I feel like I'm able to really dig down deep and figure out what it is. Not everybody wants to step on stage. Like, not everybody wants to do that. Some people just want to lose 10 pounds. Some people just want to firm up. Some people are happy just the way they are, and that is okay. But when you're confident within yourself, that's what makes you beautiful. It's not what we see on social media. It's not the photoshopped and, you know, the filters, which, I mean, they're fun. I love filters too. But at the end of the day, we are confident because, you know, we're beautiful because we're confident. No, we're not confident because we're beautiful. Those people who just have, I mean, I've seen it, you know, when they have those looks, you know, they feel like that's what makes them confident. And that when they lose it, or if they get off path or wherever it is, then they completely shut down.
Yeah, and they become depressed. Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking because at the end of the day, we're capable of being anything that we want to be. We just got to find it within ourselves.
That's amazing that you said that. That's a real powerful point there. People look at themselves, the physical feature, and they take that and they live off that. What I mean by that, there's a certain individual. I'm saying like the certain individual got a certain feature about themselves, and they figure that would get them by life, and that what they live on. But when they come down to reality, what they really need to be focused on their spirit, what gets somebody in their mind, and a lot of people don't comprehend that. And I like the way you say that. And what I want to say to you, and I admire you, and I want to say this one important thing: always keep it simple. Always keep it simple, and never forget your foundation, where you got started from. Remember that. And I always try to make this clear to folks. Make stuff simple. Because you want everybody to understand. You want everybody to know where you come from, your point. Don't make it so complicated that nobody knows what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, you had so many messages in what you said, because it was like the 4 years. I think sometimes we think we have to do something right now. We have to do something right now, and if we don't do something right now, it's going to be lost, or somebody's going to do it before us, or, you know, we're not going to be able to help people. But the key is you need to be healthy and whole yourself.
Yes.
And that's what I tell people, because, you know, when me and my husband got married, we didn't first all of a sudden start trying to help other people. First, we needed to get ourselves together. First, we needed to have a solid foundation for us before we go out and tell them people about second love. Second love, we might not have made it the second week, more or less the second year. And we sit out here talking about second love, you know, so we had to find ourselves, get over our own grief baggage that we had actually brought into the relationship. So before we even start talking about it, we had been married, 4 years? We had been married 4 years before we even really got to telling people that we had both lost our spouse in the same year, same month. You know, we were just regular people who got married, and we just talked about regular relationship stuff. But then one day God said, no, you are going to have to add this component. You're going to have to talk about it. I've got you all through it. I've made you all strong enough. Like you say, 4 years. You know, it's kind of like that 40-year wondering. We're going to do something in the 4. God going to get us. He's going to get us 4 days. He's going to give us 4 months. He's going to give us for something, for a time for us to get healed and be whole and set a foundation. Get a foundation going in our lives. And that was the thing. You needed to make sure you were confident enough in yourself to make sure that you could go out and share it with other people. Because like you said, you needed a coach, a business coach. You needed an athletic coach, because you needed somebody to give you that confidence. And all of us need the perfect timing.
Right.
Otherwise, we go out and hurt other people with the message that we're delivering, because we're helping them from a hurt place. Like you said in the beginning, you were angry, but you were still showing up at church. And that is something that we do very wrong in ministry. You know, people show up hurt, they show up angry, they show up mad, and we still let them serve and we still let them work in church. And the problem is they are taking other people to hell with them, because we mad at God, and we talking about all the things God did wrong. And
that's when I was trying to make leaving out of the gym, because that's the problem that I had. I was all right while I was in the gym working out, kicking on the bag and doing all my jumping jacks and all this stuff. Then when I leave out of the gym, but my wife said, I take it out on other folks. I'm not a protest folks, but when we got together and start sharing what we went through, sharing it to the public, then that adds to my gym workout. That made me start feeling a whole lot better about myself. That let me know how to figure myself, what I was going through. Then I can help other people. But when you all frustrated, now you come and give me rather than the gym, I'm all right. But once I'm out of the gym, it's a different story. And that's what I need to get repair on right there. That's what I was trying to discuss with you about that.
Yeah, see, he had his out of the gym experience.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, okay, I'm good as long as I'm punching a bag, as long as I'm kicking some ass. But you come to me in my space outside the gym, I might not be friendly to you.
Right.
And that's why I say we have to find that happy place. Otherwise, we cut other people up in our hurtness and not even realize that we're still hurt. You know, and that is very, very important. And I love that you gave that timeline, because a lot of people don't talk about how long it was before they start reaching out to help other people. And we really have to be careful in ministry, in the body, how we let people come back in and hurt and help people. We need to make sure they're whole and healthy people, even people of the clergy who go through something. We have to make sure that we're able to sit down, sit back, and recoup and, regain ourselves. So, I mean, that was absolutely I mean, when you said that, I was just like, okay, yes, get it out. Tell people just they
yes.
Talk about all the time. I feel that the emotions still reacting on the actions. That's what you run into something. Reacting on the action, you have to react on the emotions.
Right. And because it was like the 4 years ago after I did my first fitness competition, I tied myself to that image, right? 250 pounds going into a competitor. Here I was, and I rebounded and I gained 40 pounds. And it was like, there it was, so I gained the 40 pounds back, and it was okay. Let's do it again. So, I went through the whole process again. I learned what worked a little bit better for me, what didn't work good. So I did it again a second time, and then I did my third one. I hit nationally qualified fitness competitor. I'm gonna go to nationals one day. Right now, at the moment, I've been focusing on my kids and helping other people, and I'm getting that itch to where I'm gonna hit that stage probably by the end of this year.
Oh,
so it's gonna be a whole nother transformation, because that image is not sustainable. So you have to, competitors are going for, at that time, but then you have to still learn how to live. You can't become so obsessed with the process that's all you're taking in. Because back at the 4 years ago, that was all I cared about. I was so obsessed. I was obsessed, and I was missing out on certain things. So I had to really learn how to sit back, take time, enjoy the process, enjoy the kids, enjoy having to do dinner, bed, bath, laundry, and do life. So
that's key. That's key. Mm-hmm.
I wasn't ready 4 years ago, and I had to go through it 3 times to really realize and down and get the mindset and the understanding and the beliefs and get more in touch with God myself.
Yeah.
You know, I needed to get a little bit more in touch with him, and now's my time. And I'm so blessed because it makes me feel like I feel like almost obligated to like share my story, because if I don't share my story, my story might not get to somebody who needs it.
Yeah, because it's somebody who has already rebounded, like you said. They got caught to an image, and it's so many people caught in a cycle. Like you say, you went back 40 pounds after you had done all of that work because you were stuck at being 240 pounds. Even though you had lost it, you were stuck there. It was like, I am this person. And it was like, okay, but Justine, you're not that person anymore. You're actually a healthy, whole person. The thing is, you had got to a physical healthiness, but you had not gotten yourself mentally healthy that you could stay there and sustain it. Like you said, it was an obsession. You know, it was like, oh, I'm craving some chocolate. Oh, I got to have a cigarette. Oh, I got to have a drink. You know, whatever somebody's obsession is. And sometimes your obsession is something good. Like you said, you accept on an obsession of getting healthy, but it has to be a balance so that you're still living. And I love that you said that we have to balance out, because you can get an obsession with going to church, and that has nothing to do with God. Right. You know, we pour all our time and energy into showing up to every church meeting, every church function, but that is not of God. No, that is not balance. God wants us to have balance. So we have to be key that our house is our first ministry. You know, taking care of our kids, handling our business. And if we're not doing that, we already messed up with God. Because, I mean, his word says that if we don't take care of our house, you know, we're worse than an infidel. We don't want to be cast out by God just because we just showing up looking busy. Right. So other people think that we are whole. And that's why I say we got to take off these facades. And I believe your story was meant for right now, at this time. Like I say, because there are people in that mark, and they can see, okay, I'm rebounded. I'm caught in a cycle. The light needs to go off for them, because they're saying, oh, I'm good. I'm doing wonderful. And I mean, my husband says that's my favorite word. Every time he asks me something, I say I'm doing good. But I am. I'm always. I can't help but being doing good. I got him. How else could I be doing? But the thing is, we have to be careful of using that as our regular dialogue, and we haven't even checked ourselves. Like you had a light moment, and you said, "Wait a minute, I don't just put 40 pounds back on. I'm really not doing good. Something is wrong. Something has got me caught. Something keep pulling me back to this place." So there is something. Now, how do we find you? How do we find you, Jay Inspire? Is there some way, even if we don't live in California, how can we get some athletic coaching? How can you help us have our healthy physical selves? And even to the point, our physical health, you know, you were talking about food, you were talking about natural stuff. How do we contact you and understand ourselves? And now you work with men, not just women, right?
Oh, I work with men and women. You can go to my website. My website is j-spire, spire.com. You can see some before and afters, learn a little bit, more about me. And this has been absolutely amazing. And my website will direct you to my Facebook. I'm also in a youth sports center group where a lot of the moms, we come together in that area, and I help, inspire them to, when our kids are out playing on the sports fields, let's be taking care of us. Let's go out there and do some lunges. Let's go do some sprints back and forth. And, we got to take care of us. We have to take care of us to be able to be the best that we can be for our kids. We have to learn how to put ourselves first. And when we do that, it's amazing what kind of a transformation that you can obtain. So, and in my website, I'm also I'm a brand ambassador for another nonprofit organization called Virago Fitness. And we actually, so people who are tuning in right now, you can go to Virago Fitness by clicking on the link in my website, and you can actually apply to be sponsored by the company and talk about your struggle and she picks people quarterly, and she gets them they get a brand ambassador to be their emotional support. She'll link them up no matter where they are in the United States with people in gyms, and she sponsors their journey. So the motto with that is turning your struggles into strengths. So that's what we do on that. And so you can click on the link for the Virago Fitness, and that will actually go to that website. My information is in that one as well. And I'm happy, that's been a great nonprofit organization to work with, and getting in touch with people and just helping them, again, turn their struggles into strengths. So
I love that.
It's been incredible. And again, now getting involved with the Youth Sports Center, that's another nonprofit organization. Just watching, up and coming children in sports. We have a whole network on Facebook. So find me through my website. It'll direct you right to my messenger. And please, if you have any questions or just want to talk to me a little bit one-on-one, don't hesitate to do so. I answer all of my messages. There's nobody else. It's me running my phone. So I'll be happy to be a support system and do what I can for anybody who's having a hard time, because I've been there. And being able to find yourself is one of the greatest gifts that I've been able to do. And now I'm 31 years old. I still got a whole lot to live, and I'm glad that I found myself sooner rather than later.
Amen.
And I just revert everything back. If this hadn't happened, I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have this. Like Colby, God, right? Losing him, fitness, competing. Now have my whole online program, and I'm able to help and inspire people. Just it all comes together. Things just don't happen by accident, and God has a plan for each and every single one of us. And I'm here to do whatever I can for you and for other people out there.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're your healthy, whole self now.
Yes.
And I love that you're trying to help other people find their strength. And fitness is one of the big F's after death does us part, that we lose. We lose our health. We're not focused on trying to be our better outer selves anymore, or our inner selves. And fitness is one of the F's we just kind of let go. Like, oh, well, I'm not trying to find love. Ain't nobody else looking at me no more. Blah, blah, blah. All that thing, But it is not about you trying to find another mate. It is really just trying to have your best life and live it, so you don't live it on pills. You don't live it coping. You're just not dragging yourself through life and actually making somebody else have to take care of you because you don't get out of a place of depression. Right. So we got to step up and take care of ourselves. And like you say, you were young. And the word says, if you are unable, the church steps in and take care of you. So we got to knock ourselves on the head and say, we are able-bodied people. We get up, we live, and we need to do this. It's got to be a snap, like you said. It's got to be a light that come on. Right. It's got to be somebody that steps in. And some people don't have a mama like you. So today, this might be their mama moment for them. They might hear us on the air, and they hear us say, as they mama, we say, get up, get out the bed. You can't stay in this house one more minute.
You got a life to live, because it's a beautiful life, and we're so blessed. And I promise that no matter how dark of a place that you might be right now, there's light at the end of that tunnel, and I'll do whatever I can to make sure to show you that light, because I'm so blessed that I finally found it.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm happy that you found the light. And I'm just so happy what has happened for you in these last 6 months. And I was exploded into something even different than you saw in the beginning.
Right.
That you were going after. And I believe that it is just your purpose, your calling, and you are in the place where God assigned you to be, to help women and men find that strength after loss. Whatever their struggle is, they're struggling with, you will help them find that strength. And I'm just wonderfully glad that you were able to share your story, and I hope it blessed somebody this evening. And I know we got a few more minutes. I want to pray us out, if you don't mind. Just out of these minutes. As always, we come to you with thanksgiving. God, we got to thank you for the good and the bad, because everything works out for our good. But today, God, it's somebody on the line that needs to know that you are You are there for the brokenhearted. You are there for the crushed. You are our hope. You keep us from crumbling. Keep us from turning into ashes, because it is not our time. It's not our time to move and transition away. God, blow an air on us to refresh us and to renew us so that we know that you are our strength. God, keep us away from the distractions. God, keep us away from the depression. Keep us away from the pills. Keep us away from what the world says we have to have in order to cope and survive. Because God, you have meant for us to thrive in this world. You have meant for us to touch and tap into you, because there is a gift, there's a place, there's a purpose for each one of us that you want us to find. God, help us understand the lesson. When we understand the lesson, we're able to take that lesson that you took us through, so that we're able to go out and teach it to others. No matter what our platform is, no matter what our format is, God is different for each and every one of us. Don't let us get lost in what somebody else is doing. God, bless us with our own vision. Bless us with our own sight. Bless us with our own clarity, so that we can see what it is that you have exactly for us. But God, bless everybody that is listening. God, bless them so that they can be whole. Bless them so that they can find the strength. Bless them so that they don't get stuck. But bless them and fill them with a hope that will never allow them to fall to a place of depression and they're back in a place of darkness. It may be a trigger, but it will not cause them to fall. It may be a memory, but it will not cause them to fall. God, be their strength to carry them through. And God, when you place them down, they'll be strong enough to walk out on their own. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Justine.
Thank
you have blessed us, and
you have blessed me. You guys are such an inspiration.
We thank you.
So much hope. Like it's okay to love again, and it's great to love again, and you know, you're such a beautiful couple, and your stories are just very. When I read your story, I was like, "This is my girl." It was like instant
connection. Remember, just like you said, the first thing, it happened because you gotta love yourself, and when you love yourself, you can attract love. Otherwise, you're going to attract people who are going to try to manipulate you and take advantage of you playing a victim. So all of us got to stop the victim and get to a victorious place in our life, so we can attract victory people to us. And that is what I want people to do. I want everybody to attract victory people to them. See, I got you, Justine. I attracted victory to me.
Oh, well, I feel like I'm the winner here with you. Just my life. So thank you for allowing me to share my story and having me be on your radio. And if there's anything that you ever need, please don't hesitate.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll see you all next week, same time, same place, so where we're going to still be having our best relationships, of course, with God, ourselves, and others. But we always want to welcome you back. Never skip a Tuesday. Share it. Watch it on replay. And definitely give us a little bit of feedback so we can always improve and get better on what we're doing and providing. Thank you all. See you next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Nice talking to you.